And of course, being just the kind person I am, I'm just going to go right into like a tirade with her. I'm going to hit her with, God, Cheney, I can't believe Cheney went right after Trump did. And but my wife and I watched this thing today, and if I was a devout Trumper, I would throw such a flag on the fact that, dude, really? We're 34 days out from the vote and you're selling watches? Like, it's this grift mentality this guy has. And then you got Vance with, I thought there was no fact checks. Like, so you're just going to go up there and lie?
Well, that is the enemy of that party in this election. But more than anything, I was heartened, Kevin, to know anytime I could learn something about civics that I didn't learn in school, I'm pretty excited. Apparently, based on what I saw in the debate, the vice president, the sitting vice president,
Unbelievable.
is in charge of policy,
Everything.
everything,
Everything.
legislation, policy. It was all Harris's failure
She I
to
I didn't
act.
know that she was able to actually put, like, she's got to do is walk by Biden and say, "Hey, mind if I have the nuclear football?" That's all she has to do. I was taught in government that basically the only real power that they have is on a tied vote in the Senate.
That's correct. Yes,
They
they are
can't
the
make any
tiebreaker.
policies. They can't veto shit. I mean, I watched the TV show Veep. Dreyfus does a really great job in doing absolutely fucking nothing during like 7 seasons because that's what a vice president does. Yet when he asks, when Walls asks Vance, did he or did he not, lose the presidency? We're going forward. And he says, that's the biggest admission of just bullshit. Like, yeah, okay. I don't understand this. Okay, I'm getting it's January 6th and all this shit goes down.
Mm-hmm.
They're putting my hand on the Bible. I'm raising it by Constitution. Blah 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 blah. Mr. Nash, you're not president of the United States. Great, go get in the car, go wherever I'm going to go. Wherever I'm guessing at that point I can go to the White House because I'm in. I don't know if the other guys moved out yet. I think he has a pod at that point in the Rose Garden.
Loan it up.
Yeah, and I would have just went, yeah, this is President Nash. Can you get me some marshals, some U.S. marshals? I want to arrest Donald Trump for treason, and have that went down, and they arrested him. Even if it did, I mean, like, this bullshit at 20, like, does anybody give a fuck what Smith is uncovering 28 days before? I mean, really?
I was reading that today, and I saw that it's going to reveal that when he was texted that Pence was going to be under attack, he said, "So what?" Like,
Yeah,
nobody that's voting for him cares about it. They wanted him hung.
yeah.
This isn't gonna. It's not
That
gonna
was the
turn
closest. That
anything.
was the closest Pence ever got to being hung. I asked his old lady.
Yeah, he doesn't join us because he's not 11 soft.
No, not even from the
Oh,
crack of his ass. Does
the
anybody else out there get these texts like throughout the day? Obama called to action. Dems must respond. 800% match to crush Trump for good. And then it's got, you pull this thing up, and it comes and it just, I mean, it's got some numbers. It's got Pennsylvania tied, Wisconsin Harris won, Michigan Harris won, Arizona Trump by 2, Carolina tied, Nevada Trump by one, Georgia tied, and it just goes on and on and on. And they want you just press this, chip in $17, chip in 40, whatever you want to do, just and then it's just you gotta hope that it goes to
Now this is, I'll tell you where this is going. Is it going to China or Singapore or somewhere, and they're going to
I,
empty your bank account is what they're going to do.
yeah, it's urgent before Tim steps off stage, you know. And everything I read and everything I hear is she's like Kamala Harris got $42 million today. I'm thinking, really, man? She really needs like my $17?
Yeah, I don't trust anything that'll pop up on a text. I mean, they all give you their website to
Oh
make
yeah,
donations to.
yeah. Well, you know what? I'll walk down and vote for you. How about that?
Very good. Some feedback from the folks that were listening and watching last week. By the way, if you
Oh,
want
I
to
got it.
share, yeah,
So I got it. Tamara was sending me pictures, and I wanted because everybody always gives me such grief about uh, what I represent in life. So hold on
was a
here.
former world champion. What is the grief that you're representing? That's
It's probably just my bitterness.
you're better.
Oh God, I'm gonna send this to Steve
Yeah,
so Steve can die. You all, Steve. Okay, so Steve, I'm gonna send a picture to you, and it'll probably take a second. It looks like it's feeding you. Did you get a picture from me, Steve? You just answer, yeah.
we hit the Jeopardy music here or something. You sing Larry? Can you say? It's been a while since
Not
you
yet.
sang Harry Chapin. Can you do?
It
Nothing
was
yet.
raining hard in Frisco. I needed one more fare to make my night. Lady up ahead seemed to flag me down. She got in at the light. Oh, where you going to, my lady blue? It's a shame you ruined your gown in the rain. She just looked out the window, said 15 Parkside Lane. It took a while till I looked in the mirror and she glanced at the license for my name. A smile seemed to come to her slowly. It was a sad smile just the same. And she said, "How are you, Harry?" I said, "How are you, Sue?" Through the too many miles and the too many smiles, I still remember you. There we go. So is this live now? Do we have this picture
This is up.
of young Nash?
Yes.
So okay, I'm such a Mussolini in my own home that when my son went out to vote for his first time when he turned 18 years old, he voted for Donald Trump. And then my wife took him to New York City, and he wanted to salute President Trump in front of his tower. So this is a picture of T saluting Donald Trump, and this is like so people don't think that I'm
You
not
allow freedom in your home to express
unbelievably so.
oneself.
Yes,
Yes.
unbelievably so. Like that's the kind of the way I was brought up. That's the way I brought my son up. It's just like we don't. It's one more piece of the. It's like power. It's like I watch J.D. Vance, and I say, here's a guy that's Ivy League educated. He's a hedge fund guy. He's got fucking coin. The only thing he doesn't have is respect and fucking power. And he figures this is his
Mm.
gig where he can get those things. And he'll talk shit about fucking Trump and say he's a piece of shit and he's Hitler. He'll say all this shit to him, but then turn around in 4 fucking years and run with the guy and lie for him? And this is a person that you want fucking anywhere near the head of our government?
Most politicians are whores. They'll do anything. They'll do anything for that quest for power. It's exactly what you said. It's a quest for
You know what
power,
I thought was
validation.
I thought the highlight of the entire debate was, um, and all the debates, Trump uh, and this one in particular, Vance made reference to, oh Christ be with you, and he made some kind of, one of those things, and where he referenced, Christ, and then just in his everyday uh, vocabulary,
Hmm.
Walls said, I don't like to throw my scripture in, but he dropped a Matthews.
He did a Matthew, yeah.
Yeah, he dropped a little he dropped one a little bit in there, and I said to myself, I said, felt pretty fucking organic. Like it didn't feel like that was fish hooked in there,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought to myself, like, if I was really evangelical, and if that's was what drove me, how I could not see that that's the closest of those three men to being what a Christian is, at least in my estimation, to being a Christian. That I just that was what I said. I was just like, I said, I don't know, man. It's just you just. I think at this point it comes down to the people. It doesn't come down to parties or anything. It just comes down to the people.
The character of the people
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, politics is pretty cookie cutter anyway. You're going to have the two parties represent the same policies every election, but right, exactly. Who do you have
I'll
in
tell
there?
you one thing.
Charisma counts though
If
too.
Kamala Harris fucking wins and she shits the bed on this border situation, she will not fucking stop hearing from me.
Hmm.
Because there's a lot of things that can fuck this country up. But having multiple terror cells come across our border and plant in our metropolitan areas, not fucking good.
It's too present an issue for it not to be addressed.
Yeah,
It's one of the
that's
top.
that's my and it was so funny because they after the debate they talked to some students from Oakland University. My sister's a graduate of in Rochester, Michigan, and like none of them wanted to talk about the border. They were more concerned about their trans and gay friends losing their rights. That
Hmm.
was really kind of the driving force of that demographic. And I was just like, wow. I said, I have so many gay friends and so many gay couples and everything else in my life. And it's like, I just take it for granted that, that's not something that's, there's no takebacks on that. Like
Mm.
we've given two people that love each other the right to fucking get married, whether they're two guys, two women, whatever they are. It just doesn't matter. It's just that they're given rights, and it's just like, how can you fucking take back people's rights once you've given it to them? Like, what what about that doesn't sound like fucking Nazi Germany? We're going to retract these rights.
Hmm.
We had this thing for 50 years called Roe versus Wade, but we're going to fucking stop that because that's what the people want. Yet every time it goes to vote, it gets over 60% because it has to.
Hmm.
And my question to America and to the world is why is it when it's the right thing, you've got to get a 60% vote? But when it's like, so if we don't get a 60% vote on, let's just, I'm not even, I'm going to go off of the pro-life, pro-choice. I'm going to go off that debate and just go on recreational cannabis in Florida. Proposition 3, they actually have for the no vote, a guy go in his backyard, open his shed, and he's going to cultivate his own plant. And he starts to break the dirt up, and he says, "What do you think? What do you think you're doing?" He goes, "I'm big cannabis or big weed or whatever, and you can't grow even one plant." He goes, "What?" And the guy's acting like when you sign yes for the recreational weed, like you won't be able to grow anymore. You can't fucking grow now.
Right. So the
You
point.
can't have one plant in the state of Florida. So what has big weed got to do with you making a plant in your backyard? You can't have one now. You can't have one. I mean,
So
it's
they
like
were using that angle
that angle
to push the no vote by saying
that
you personally won't be able to have your little plant in the
you won't be
yard.
able to have it. It's like all of a sudden we're in Humboldt, fucking
Oh, that's
county,
interesting.
California, and you could have 12 plants per person. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
That's an interesting deceptive tactic
Yeah.
that they
Oh,
had.